Am I riding down to Bell Ray?
You're riding down to Bell Ray Park right there at Bates.
Can I give you a ride? On that? I don't have any rear pegs or anything. It's a dirt bike.
I'll be okay. It's only right down the street here. It's a little ways, but I'm crippled. It's hard for me to walk.
You're crippled?
Broadway and Bates there.
Broadway and Bates? Oh, I was going to start a vlog off, but let's do it. There's not much. I'm telling you, you're going to have to hang on for dear life.
Man, you're so fucking much of a champ, man. Hold on your place.
Alright. You sure you're good? You want to do wheelies? This guy's barely hanging on, man. Probably cracking my rear fender to 1,000 pieces. Right here's good? Hey, so I did you a favor. Can you do me a favor?
Hi, y'all. This is Hood East. Well, episode number 54. Welcome to St. Louis. $1 so I get another soda.
Giving you my last dollar, brother.
You're a champ, man. I hope your company comes up.
Be safe out here, huh? Alright guys, let's try this again. I don't think anyone else is going to ask me for a ride again. So as you heard my friend say, welcome to Hood Eats episode 54. Today we are live from St. Louis on the beautiful 2019 CRF450r. Today we are in for a special treat for so many reasons, but what really sticks out is we're doing our first and maybe the last haunted Hood Eats. There is a place so infamous here in St. Louis. It is one of the most haunted places in America, and they also have a restaurant. And as soon as I posted up that I was in St. Louis, multiple people told me to go here. So today we are going to Lemp Mansion. I'm going to throw some gas in the old girl here, not run my mouth too much, and really just go out and ride. As today we are solo in South St. Louis. Going to head up to the north and then back down to the south as I want to explore a little bit with you guys. Let's do it. Gas is so cheap down here. Off to Hood Eats we go. Woo! God, does it feel good to be back in St. Louis, man. I've already been here for 3 days. This is like my first time really getting out by myself and getting to talk to you guys, not inside of a really hectic pack. Because I think talking in a pack, it really takes away from your focus of the ride itself. I think I'm going to do this whole vlog without my GPS one time. St. Louis is like pretty much my second home at this point. Really surprising that I've only done one Hood Eats here. This is my second Hood Eats in the past like 4 years here. And man, I cannot think of a better city to do Hood Eats in. As we'll come to find out, if you don't already know, St. Louis is the most dangerous city in the U.S. It is the Wild West in every sense of the word. I slept in my van last night. 5 in the morning, I woke up to just one gunshot really close to my van, probably about a half a block. It's like, holy shit. Onto the curb. Literally the Budweiser plant right here. Just a massive, massive piece of property right off of I-55 here in South St. Louis. Shout out to Street Fighter Adam. One of the oldest members of the Street Fighters is still works for Anheuser-Busch. We are in St. Louis. This is Street Fighter territory. This thing doesn't really like to be on the highway. Comfortably cruise at like 50, maybe 55, but let's be honest, nobody goes the fucking speed limit. And just like that, welcome to beautiful downtown St. Louis. The arch always lets you know where you are in St. Louis. Terrain feature that you can always kind of know where you're at based off looking at that terrain feature. We don't stop at red lights in St. Louis. Alright guys, why did I really want to come up to North St. Louis? It is for this specific reason, and I really wanted to just pay homage. Shady Jacks. Yeah, gates are shut. Not just for the day, not just for the week, Not just because the city imposed another fine, but for good. If you live under a frickin' rock, Ride of the Century has been happening here in St. Louis for over 20 years now. And its home base for almost every single year has been right here at Shady Jack's. This parking lot is normally filled up with cars, RVs, just bikers, even outside of ROC. My first big out-of-town stunt ride was Ride of the Century. Really started to appreciate the community that came with it. So when Shady Jack's closed about a month ago, yeah, it definitely hurt. No matter what side of the fence you're on with, oh, the city's right, Shady Jack's is right, the bikers are out of hand, the building's not safe, whatever you want to say. Jack's getting old, he didn't have the motivation for it, whatever you want to say, you cannot deny the history and the importance that Shady Jack's and this place just in general gave to stunt riding. This is arguably the most important piece of stunt riding history in the whole fucking world is right here. Getting emotional just talking about it. It sucks. Because Lord knows I've started so many videos back here over the years. So I really did want to just talk about this in the beginning part of the vlog. Man, they really do got this strip pretty much just about shut down. Every barrier, sand blockage. They do not want people back here anymore. In all reality, this is a closed off street, and I think it was really important that guys had a place like this to come and learn stuff safely. With that being said, I suppose that's probably my last wheelie back here. Alright guys, so back to Hoodie. Why did I ride the 450 today? It's not because the Harley and the 636 are down or something like that. The 450 was truly the best fit for the urban exploration and decay that is downtown St. Louis. In the early to mid 1800s, people began flocking to St. Louis. Explosive growth as some of these other Midwest cities with factories popping up every frickin' where. Italian, Polish, Jewish, Russian immigrants flocked here for the promise of working in these once great and massive factories. Anything from steel mills to old breweries and assembly plants littered all across St. Louis for a whole host of reasons. But why St. Louis's true growth really was right there, the Great Mississippi. St. Louis is built right along the Mississippi, and a lot of these factories were not coincidentally put there as well. As early on, this was our country's best mode of transportation, was by boat. Steamboat, barge. People are camping back here, huh? These abandoned factories. They're set up in here. The car. Holy shit. We got a fire going. Yeah, this is why I really rode the 450, people. It doesn't get better for urban exploration than this. This dude's doing a fucking oil change and tire swap over here. Oh no, our first haunted hoodies, and we already saw a black cat. The Lacadla Power Company. The Lacalia Power Company. Another just massive factory just shut down. Nothing but factories shut down over here, but you gotta think, man. During the 1800s, when these factories were built, these were some of the biggest structures that early immigrants had ever seen in their lives. And they came and worked here by the tens of thousands and employed a lot of the population. But after World War II came and gone, and we started to export some of our labor, some of our manufacturing, and our major form of transportation soon became the interstate highway system. The Mississippi saw less boats transporting goods and services on it. These companies saw major budget cuts as they were getting undercut from steel manufacturing from China, cheaper goods, cheaper labor. And St. Louis truly does show exactly what happens when a situation like that happens. So with job loss, strategic location loss, and truly just the country evolving the way it has, St. Louis really has reflected upon what has become of that. That is poverty, desperation, and the remaining businesses really questioning why they still are here in the first place. St. Louis is one of the only major U.S. cities that is consistently starting to see a decrease in population. As really there's not many jobs here, and it's really starting to look somewhat post-apocalyptic. I mean, I know we've done a lot of different neighborhoods within the city of Chicago, but really nowhere is as abandoned and run down that we've done on Hood Eats, at least, as St. Louis. Especially up here on the north side. The north side of St. Louis consistently has the most violent neighborhoods within the city, and it just so happens to be right in the middle of where Shady Jack's was. All the St. Louis guys call this the Hood Route. All it is running down a really infamous street here in St. Louis called Natural Bridge. But I feel like St. Louis has the same story as a lot of Midwest Rust Belt cities, but just exemplified to the absolute max due to it really being built around these factories and this transportation system that both did just become outdated over the years. See if I can roll between these. Split, split, split. Yeah, man. Really, this is like as post-apocalyptic as we've seen in a long time. Crazy to think that we live in America, like one of the most prosperous countries in the whole world, and our major cities are starting to look like this. So guys, I know in the court of public opinion, people think of Chicago as the most dangerous city in the U.S., but if we are talking per capita, like the amount of people that live there compared to the amount of murders that happen in the city, St. Louis has held that title, unfortunately, for a very long time. In 2020, they had 262 homicides with a population of exactly 300,000 people. And truly, we can attest that to the amount of job loss and just hopelessness and blight that really does exist here. St. Louis was annexed in 1802, which makes it about 70 years newer than the city of Chicago, which just means this architecture and a lot of the early buildings here are falling apart that much quicker. Like, I think this is really interesting. I brought this up the other day. I really felt like a geek bringing it up in front of the other riders, but I was like, can you imagine how old the brick is underneath some of these roads? Because it's really starting to show now, especially down by the Mississippi when we were stopped down there. You could tell, like, the bricks have been laid by hand. I don't know, I guess that's just the inner historian in me saying that. You think you've seen potholes in Chicago and everywhere else, but god damn, you've not seen potholes like St. Louis. Gotta stand up like this after sitting down on his seat for too long. Seat just gets my ass fucking hurting. Yesterday we were out riding, and I swear to God, it looked like they held a demolition derby because there's like abandoned and smashed up cars everywhere. One of them had a fucking bullet hole in it. What is that? What is that? Is that my fucking Corvette? Speaking of smashed up cars everywhere. Alright guys, I'm getting hungry and we're right about to pull up to Lemp Mansion. So why don't I tell you a little bit about it. The Lemp family really did become predominant here in St. Louis in the mid-1800s when they set up Lemp Brewing. The brewery quickly became the biggest brewery here in St. Louis. You can imagine the family's wealth really did begin the rocket. Now in 1901, one of the Lemp sons died of mysterious causes, possible suicide, and it really did begin the downfall of the family. As in the coming years, Prohibition hit, which really did put a nail in the coffin to a lot of breweries here. With that and his son's death still on his mind, father also committed suicide in this house and killed the family dog. And proceeding the next 30 years, an additional 2 people from the Lemp family also committed suicide in this mansion. So when I say this place is kind of eerie, I really do mean it. All right, good girl. You stay here. Don't you leave. I promise I'll be back. Chicken dinner Sunday. That's what everyone said to get. Chicken. So that's what we're going to get. You didn't tell me how much food this actually was. Oh, yeah. That's insane. What the fuck did I get myself into, guys? This is overwhelming, guys. Guys, I'm officially in a food coma. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish all this. Spookiest part of this shit is me not being able to finish half my food. Guys, I don't think I've ever felt like so gluttonous and just fuck. I'm so full and I felt so bad. I hate leaving food because I don't like being wasteful. But it's all you can eat and you can't take boxes. It's just, I'll tell you what though, when I snuck up into those rooms, I don't know if it was just me, but it was definitely like 10 degrees cooler as soon, like right by the bathroom door. It was just weird. I don't know. I don't really believe in ghosts all that much, but definitely kind of an eerie place, huh? I'm gonna have a hard time talking and moving. I'm so full. Right across the street from the Anheuser-Busch plant. I looked around in their little museum there. They were estimated $7 million back in the 1800s there, but when their brewery went out of business, right at Prohibition, it sold for $500,000. That's gotta suck. Look at that, Lemp Brewery, and it's for lease right now. Oh, cool. Here it is, Lemp Brewery now leasing. This is their old brewery, and it's basically the size of the Anheuser-Busch brewery. Wow. Just stumbled across it. It's right across the street. Well, across the highway. Down Lemp Avenue. Wow. Pretty dead part of town over here by the factory though. The mansion is popping. It was packed in there. Last little bit of riding and wheelie before I head home to Chicago. These weekend trips really do take it out of me now. I'm so exhausted by Sunday night. Stay up, hanging out with all your friends and catching up with guys you haven't seen in a while. Having a couple Lemp beers. Hoodie's episode 54. This has been a good one, man. What a crazy way to start the vlog too. Giving my guy a ride. Be good to people, man. That's all I gotta say. Be good to people. 99.9% of people are good people. That 0.1%, be ready for them. But don't be cruel to the other 99.9% because of that. Man, rolling stoppies on this thing is fun. You know, I run these grips on every single one of my bikes. Totally random, but I really kind of want to go with a softer grip, as these are like a hard compound street bike grip. And the 450, with the amount of vibration it has, I think a soft grip would do really well on this, so. Alright guys, we made it back to the bar. What an awesome episode of Hood Eats. Lemp Mansion was definitely spooky. I'm gonna head back to Chicago. If you guys liked the video, you know what to do. Like it. If you're new here, subscribe. My seat's loose. Yeah, leave a comment down below. I try to respond to all of them. As always, your least favorite motovlogger, Brian636, signing out. Peace.